Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. If you've been sensing a shift in your spirit, if you've been losing people, getting quieter, feeling things more deeply, that's not confusion. That's growth. You're not falling apart. You're being shaped, molded, strengthened. You're becoming the kind of woman who doesn't just survive storms, you walk through them with calmness, with your head held high and your faith stronger than ever. And if you're watching this, it's not by accident. This is your confirmation that all the quiet work you've been doing behind closed doors, it's showing. Maybe not to the world yet, but definitely to your soul. Stay here, because we're about to walk through 8 signs that prove you're becoming a blessed and steadfast woman. The kind this world desperately needs more of. There was a time you used to stretch yourself thin. You went the extra mile for people who wouldn't even take a step toward you. You tried so hard to be seen, to be loved, to be chosen. You bent over backward just to keep people close. Just to prove your worth to people who never deserved your loyalty in the first place. But something inside you changed. It wasn't an overnight thing. And it wasn't easy. That shift came after heartbreak, after betrayal, after nights spent questioning your value because someone else couldn't see it. It came when you got tired of begging for the bare minimum, tired of explaining yourself, tired of chasing people who were never meant to stay beside you. And now, you move differently. You enter a room and you don't feel the need to perform. You don't beg for attention. If you don't compete, you don't shrink just to make others feel tall. You've learned that the right energy, the right people, and the right opportunities will find you when you are true to yourself, not when you are chasing something never meant for you. There's a calmness that settles over a woman who knows her worth. When you understand your value, you stop negotiating with anyone who treats you like you're ordinary. You don't lower your standards to keep someone who won't rise to meet you. You don't break your own heart just to make someone else feel whole. You don't chase anymore because you become the kind of woman who attracts. You attract peace because you carry peace. You attract love because you move with love. Not desperation, not fear, not neediness, but love, grounded in self-respect and wholeness. You attract loyalty because you are loyal to yourself first. Now you attract opportunities because you are aligned with your purpose. You attract what reflects your healing, not what tempts your weaknesses. It takes real strength to get to this point. It takes strength to stop chasing approval, to stop chasing closure, to stop chasing people who ghost you, confuse you, or only show up when they want something from you. It takes strength to sit alone and say, I'm enough, even if no one claps for me today, even if no one texts me back, even if I walk alone. Once you know who you are, you don't chase people. You choose people. You choose your circle carefully. You choose your energy. You choose your peace. You don't run after love. You allow love to flow naturally toward you. You don't demand respect. You carry yourself in a way that makes disrespect impossible. Let them wonder why you're quieter now. Let them wonder why you stopped reaching out, stopped checking in, stop showing up for those who never showed up for you. It's not bitterness, it's power. You're not angry, you're aligned, you're no longer watering dead plants. You're done proving yourself because you've realized what's meant for you will never require you to chase it, beg for it, or lose yourself trying to keep it. This kind of woman doesn't move with the crowd, she moves with purpose. She doesn't follow trends, she follows truth. Because of that, her presence shifts the room. She doesn't have to raise her voice to be heard. Her silence speaks volumes. Her energy commands attention, not because she's trying to be noticed, but because she's finally comfortable being unseen until the right eyes recognize her. This is the part of growth nobody really talks about. It looks like isolation at first. It feels like loss. You lose people, you lose invitations, you lose friends. But you gain peace, you gain clarity, you gain strength, you gain yourself. You start attracting things that match your healing. You attract love that is kind, people who pour back into you, spaces that feel safe, and opportunities that match your soul, not just your ego. When you stop chasing, you create space for the things that have been trying to reach you all along but couldn't find you because you were busy chasing the wrong things. So don't second guess this new version of yourself. She's not cold. She's focused. She's not rude. She's wise. She's not bitter. She's better. She's learned that true power isn't in the chase. It's in the stillness, in the knowing that what is for her will not miss her, that she doesn't have to prove anything. She only needs to be. This is what it looks like to grow into a blessed and steadfast woman. You walk, you breathe, you live from a place of deep knowing. And that knowing, that's what draws in everything you used to run after. There comes a time when noise no longer excites you, when chaos no longer fuels you, when drama, the very thing you once confused for passion, now feels like poison to your spirit. That's when you know that peace has become your priority. For a long time, you may have believed that being busy meant being important, that being surrounded by people meant you mattered. But as you grow, as you evolve, as you step into the woman you are becoming, your definition of peace changes. You start to realize peace isn't found in the absence of noise. It's found in the presence of alignment. You no longer tolerate people who disrupt your inner calm. You don't respond to every provocation. You don't jump into every argument. You stop explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. And it's not because you're weak, it's because you're wise. A blessed and steadfast woman understands the value of her energy. She doesn't hand it out carelessly. She protects it like it's sacred because she knows peace is not something you stumble upon, something you build, something you guard, something you choose intentionally. There was a time when your phone lighting up made you feel important, when being part of every event made you feel alive, when you confused being available with being valuable. But now you crave silence. You crave breathing space. You find joy in solitude. You don't need everyone to get you because you finally get yourself. You don't react to chaos the way you used to. You pause. You think. You breathe. You realize not every battle deserves your energy. Not every invitation deserves your RSV. People will say you've changed, and you have. You've changed because you've healed. You've changed because you know the cost of living without peace. Those sleepless nights, the anxious mornings, the days spent second-guessing yourself over people who wouldn't even notice if you broke down, you lived through that. You survived it. And you promised yourself you wouldn't live like that again. Your silence now is powerful. Your absence now is noticed. Your boundaries are clear and strong. You pick your company wisely, not out of pride, but out of wisdom. You're not impressed by charm anymore. You pay attention to energy, to character, to consistency. You watch how people treat others when no one's looking. Because true peace isn't in words, it's in actions. It's in presence. It's in how you feel when you're with them. You've reached a stage where comfort is more valuable than popularity, where mental and emotional safety matter more than looking good on the outside. You would rather be alone with peace than surrounded by fake love and shallow conversations. You understand now, loneliness is not being alone. Loneliness is being surrounded by people who don't really know you, love you, or value you. And that realization, it changes everything. You find yourself saying no to things you used to chase after. You say no to invitations you would have once accepted without hesitation. You say no, not out of anger, but out of self-respect. Your peace is priceless. You're not willing to trade it for temporary thrills or shallow connections. You listen to yourself now. You trust your instincts. When something feels off, you don't question it anymore. You walk away quietly, without drama, without needing to announce your exit. You just move on. Because that's what a woman of peace does. She doesn't beg for a seat at someone else's table. She builds her own. Your mornings feel lighter now. Your nights feel softer. Your mind feels clearer. That's not an accident. That's the result of choosing peace over pressure, peace over people-pleasing, peace over always needing to be right. And in doing so, you've tapped into a strength that's unshakable. It takes bravery to choose peace in a world addicted to chaos. It takes self-restraint to stay calm when others expect you to lose it. It takes growth to walk away instead of reacting. And you're doing it. You're becoming the woman who knows her peace is her true power. The woman who understands that protecting her energy isn't selfish, it's sacred. The woman who walks away without looking back. Chaos, not because she is weak, but because she knows exactly how powerful she is when she is centered. That quiet strength is what makes you blessed. That is what keeps you steady. Not because everything is perfect, not because life is free of pain, but because no matter what is happening around you, you have learned how to hold your peace within you. And once you find that peace, you never go back. You have started walking with a new kind of confidence, the kind that doesn't need to shout, the kind that doesn't need anyone's approval, the kind that comes from surviving things that were meant to break you and still standing tall, head held high, spirit unbroken. There is something powerful about a woman who knows her worth and no longer begs anyone to join her at her table. You have reached that place. You have stopped shrinking yourself just to make others comfortable. You have stopped saying sorry for your strength, your voice, your presence. And now you walk into rooms without asking for permission to exist. You do not need validation. You carry your own. The world try to tame you. Life try to silence you. People try to dim your light because it revealed the darkness in their own hearts. But you did not fold. You did not give up. Instead, you grew, you changed, and now the woman you are becoming doesn't just walk, she leads. Not out of pride, but from a place of knowing. She knows who she is now. That knowing didn't come easy. It came through pain, through disappointment, through betrayal, through 100 silent battles no one else saw you fight. You didn't wake up like this. You rose from things you thought would destroy you. You rebuilt yourself piece by piece without anyone clapping for you. And now you walk like you have already survived the storm, because you have. There is a calmness in your eyes now, a strength in your voice. You do not chase attention anymore because you now understand that what is real won't require you to lose yourself just to be noticed. You don't compete with other women because you are too busy becoming your best self. You don't argue with people who cannot meet you where you are because you have learned the value of guarding your peace. That is the thing about true confidence. It doesn't need to announce itself. It shows through your energy. through the way you carry yourself when no one is watching, through the boundaries you create, through the silence you keep when others expect noise, through the way you leave things that no longer help you without guilt, without explanation, without second guessing. You no longer walk like you have something to prove. You walk like a woman who knows she is already enough. You wear what you love. You speak your truth. You laugh loudly when you want to, and you don't apologize when your joy makes others uncomfortable. You have stopped tiptoeing around people who are never willing to meet you halfway. You have stopped dimming your brightness for people who could not handle your light. Your confidence isn't just in your smile, your style, or your strength. It's in your resilience. It's in how you kept showing up for yourself when no one else did. It's in the way you forgave even when it hurt. In the way you loved again after being heartbroken. In the way you stayed gentle even after life tried to harden you. That's the kind of confidence no one can take away because it is not built on praise. It is built on experience. You have earned it. Now, you don't settle. Not for half love, not for almost respect, it's better than nothing because you know the price you paid to be here. You have outgrown the need to explain why you walked away from that situation, that person, that environment. You don't explain anymore, you just leave. Because when you move like you know your worth, people either rise up to meet you or they fall away. Either way you win. Some people will call it attitude, some will say you have changed. Let them. You have changed. You have outgrown the version of you that accepted disrespect, entertained confusion, and begged for the bare minimum. You are not difficult. You are just no longer available for anything that does not match the woman you are becoming. That's not arrogance. That's growth. Your very presence now says, I know who I am, I know what I deserve, and I am no longer afraid to walk alone to protect my peace. That energy, that confidence, it's magnetic. It draws the right people and opportunities towards you. It guards you from settling. It keeps you steady in a world that constantly tries to shake you. So keep walking like that, keep speaking like that, keep standing like that. You are not too much. You are not intimidating. You are simply standing in your truth. And when a woman walks rooted in her truth, knowing her worth and her purpose, there is nothing more unstoppable. That's not just confidence. That's true power. And it's yours now. It's a quiet shift, almost unnoticed at first, but deep inside you begin to feel it. You no longer react the way you used to. The things that once triggered you barely touch you now. The people who used to control your emotions, they don't anymore. It's not because you stopped caring. It's because you started healing. Healing isn't loud. It doesn't always come with claps and cheers. Sometimes it looks like choosing silence over arguing. Sometimes it's crying alone, but still showing up. Sometimes it's walking away from everything familiar because your soul finally whispered, enough. That's real healing. Choosing yourself day by day, moment by moment, until the pain no longer owns you. A woman who is healing doesn't search for revenge. She doesn't need to scream to be heard. She knows her real power is in her peace. She knows her strength is in her stillness. She doesn't fight battles that are not hers. She doesn't carry burdens that were never hers to bear. She is learning to release, to let go, to breathe again without the heaviness of bitterness in her chest. And that's growth. Healing softens you in the strongest way possible. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise. It makes you aware of your own needs. It teaches you how to rest without guilt, how to speak your truth without shame, how to walk away from things that hurt without needing anyone to understand. You are no longer waiting for closure. You have become your own closure. You have stopped blaming yourself for things that were never your fault. You have stopped playing painful memories over and over again like a broken record. You are finally realizing that what happened to you doesn't define you, but how you rise from it does. You have started replacing why me with what is this teaching me. You have started seeing your scars not as weaknesses, but as proof of survival. You are not hiding your scars anymore. You wear them like medals because they show the world you made it. Healing is messy, it's painful, it's raw, it breaks you before it rebuilds you, but it's necessary because a woman who heals is a woman who transforms. She no longer pretends everything is fine. She no longer overgives to earn love. She no longer explains herself endlessly to be understood. She now knows being whole doesn't mean being perfect, it means being real. You are choosing differently now. You choose peace over drama. You choose real friendships over fake ones. You choose truth even when it's hard. That's the kind of healing that lasts. The kind that isn't based on outside things, but grows from within. The kind that doesn't just come with time, but with the work you did as time passed. When people see you now, they might not recognize you. That's okay. Let them say, you have changed. Because you have. You have shed the skin that no longer fit. You have released people who no longer deserve to be close to you. You have built back boundaries you once broke, trying to keep others comfortable. You are no longer available for anything that steals your peace, your joy, or your sense of who you are. You are learning to forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. You are learning to trust again, not just others, but yourself. That's what healing brings, clarity. You begin to see who was really for you, who just used you, who lifted you, who drained you. And you don't hate them, you just no longer choose them. You're finally walking in the light of your own wholeness. Not because life got easier, but because you became stronger, wiser, softer in all the right places, and tougher where it mattered most. You are not afraid to feel anymore. You are not afraid to say, that hurt me, or I need space, or I'm not okay. That vulnerability, that's real bravery. That's healing in action. You are no longer living just to survive. You are learning to live fully. You are learning to be present. You are learning to smile again without forcing it. You are learning to love again without losing yourself. You are learning how to be whole even in an imperfect world. And that version of you, the healing, growing, powerful version, is a blessing to this world. Because a healed woman becomes a force. She no longer reacts from her wounds. She moves with purpose. She no longer seeks revenge. She seeks peace. She reaches for growth. She no longer begs for love. She becomes love. You're not finished yet, but you're no longer who you once were. And every step you take forward, no matter how small, is a step away from the pain and closer to the woman you were always meant to be. That's the beauty of healing. It changes everything, especially you. You've started letting go, not just of people, but of expectations, illusions, and attachments that once kept you trapped. That's not weakness, that's not bitterness. That's wisdom. Because the woman you're becoming understands that peace doesn't come from holding on tighter. It comes from letting go of what no longer matches who you're growing into. There was a time you clung to things long after their season had ended. Friendships, relationships, jobs, conversations, habits, all because you believed letting go meant you failed. You thought walking away showed weakness, that you weren't strong enough to fix it. But now you know better. You've realized that holding on to something toxic doesn't make you loyal, it keeps you stuck. and you're not willing to stay stuck anymore. Letting go doesn't mean you didn't care. It means you now care too much about yourself to remain in places that drain your soul. You've stopped begging for people to see your value. You've stopped explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you because you finally get it. Not everyone deserves access to your energy, your time, or your heart. You know, some goodbyes are hidden blessings. Some closures come in the form of silence. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. You simply walk, steady, calm, and free. Because some goodbyes are hidden blessings, some closures come in the form of silence. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. It's not about proving a point. It's about preserving your spirit. You've learned you don't need to announce your boundaries to people who never respected them. You just live them. And if someone is confused by your silence, your absence, your distance, that's okay. Let them wonder. You owe no one an explanation for choosing peace over chaos. That kind of growth comes from deep pain, from the moments you gave everything and it still wasn't enough, from the times you tried to hold everything together when it was falling apart. You used to think that if you just loved harder, worked harder, gave more, things would change. But now you know you can't force anyone to value what they don't understand. You can't fix broken things just because you're willing to bleed for them. You've released the need to be everything for everyone. You're no longer draining yourself dry just to keep others full. You've stopped shrinking yourself so others can feel tall. That version of you, the one who gave until she had nothing left, she's still inside you, but now she's wiser. Now she knows how to give without losing herself. Letting go also means releasing the old versions of yourself. That insecure you who settled for less. That fearful you who stayed silent to avoid conflict.